Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all you lovely freaks out there. My name is Sam. This is the Sam Daily Show, and today is a beautiful day. We have 7/7/2022, at least that's what it says in the bottom right-hand corner of my computer screen. I don't know if this is actual factual, but it could be something entirely different. We could be living in a world where we're actually engineered little tiny people that actually that's not at all true. But today we have a special guest. It is the infamous, some consider him to be one of the top tier as far as the gay bikers go. It is Anarcho Josh, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
And today, me and Anarcho Josh maybe are going to go down memory lane and share with the people, the great people of the Sam Daily Show fan base, why, maybe not why, but how we met. I think that that's appropriate. Because I get a lot of questions of, like, how did you meet this guy? How, you being a conservative-ish, Christian nationalist, I should say, how is it that you met an anarcho-communist? Coffee was involved, that's no doubt, but I want to hear it from the perspective of Anarcho Josh, and I think that it'd be better that way too.
Yeah, okay, sure. Me and Sam, well, a friend of mine who worked at the coffee shop made friends with Sam. Sam was like, hey, I need someone with kind of an opposing viewpoint for my show, you know, for the clicks and the likes and the whatever.
Not true.
Oh, yeah? You don't think so? Whatever reason, Sam wanted some opposing viewpoint on his show. And I love being the center of attention. And also...
That is true.
Yeah, and I believe that the right-wing Christian nationalists, or whatever the hell Sam is, and people of reason, like
everybody
me,
who's watching this one right now, maybe, I think,
you know, I believe in, like, discourse between the aisle or whatever, and that we should have a conversation, and we're never going to get anything done because we should stop dividing our country and blah 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 or whatever. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. And then I showed up. I know, it's not like a lot of people's perception of an anarcho-communist to, like, show up, but, like, I did. So.
And since I have met Josh, he's actually got a second job. So I think a piece of me is rubbing off on him. And don't take it there, man. Don't.
What do you mean?
You got a gay sense of humor and all, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't even know what that means. Okay. Yeah, no, the only reason I got a second job is because I kind of have to survive. So there's that. You know, pay my bills and all that.
Yeah, because of inflation. Because of Joe Biden, right? It's all Joe Biden's fault. It has nothing to do with the previous administrations.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Starting, you know, with Nixon or something.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've got Twitter pulled up right here, and we're going to just kind of run through, and there's probably some things we disagree on and things we agree on, but let's just hit the news hard here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure, too.
Okay, so the Netherlands, 350 tractors help no farmers, no food. They're still protesting. Have you heard about this?
No.
So, in a nutshell, apparently, and help me out, comments, is that there was there's been this protest with these Dutch farmers because they pretty much told them to stop making food. Because of some kind of carbon footprint tax or something like that. Like, the government is saying to the food, people who make
the farmers.
The farmers, yeah, that they cannot continue to farm because it is having negative effects towards the climate.
Is it not continue to farm or to farm differently?
No, I'm pretty sure that
it's like, hey, stop farming because you're destroying the planet.
We can get the left view just by typing in Dutch farmers into Google, and it will tell us right here. Explain why this is the Indiana Express. Why Dutch farmers are protesting. Let me put this up to where people can actually read it along with me. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so some 40,000 farmers gathered last week in central Netherlands agricultural heartland to protest the government's plan to stash emissions of damaging pollutants. What is the government proposing? And why are so farmers protested around the Netherlands as lawmakers voted on Tuesday on proposal to slash emissions of damaging pollutants, a plan that will likely force farmers to cut their livestock herds or stop working altogether. The government says emissions of nitrogen oxide and ammonia, which livestock produce, must be drastically reduced close to nature areas that are part of network of protected habitats for endangered plants and wildlife stretching across the 27-nation European Union. As tractors gathered outside the Parliament building, Prime Minister Mark Rutte, speaking of which, have you heard Boris Johnson resigned?
Oh, did he? Isn't he like
Prime Minister of
with this funny hair,
that funny mate. So freedom of speech and the right to demonstrate are a vital part of democracy and society. Blah, 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 blah. So here we go. What is the government proposing? The ruling coalition wants to cut emissions and pollutants, predominantly nitrogen oxide and ammonia, by 50% nationwide by 2030. Ministers called the proposal an unavoidable transition that aims to improve air, land, and water quality. They warn that farmers will have to adapt or face the prospect of shuttering their businesses. So basically, this comes down to the question of whether or not the state has any right to tell businesses how they do their business.
Well, see, this is about climate change.
So are you a communist or are you an anarchist on this?
I guess I'm more of like a solar punkist on this one. But so, I mean, like climate change, if we're really going to fix it, like stopping a bunch of farmers from doing their job is only like just a small itty bitty fraction of what needs to happen if we're actually going to effectively do anything about climate change. And so, I mean, I guess the Dutch government, like, I wouldn't say they had good intentions, but, you know, got to keep everyone alive and make sure they don't catch on fire. So
yeah, but this whole climate change thing, like, what's your take on that?
What do you mean? It's real and we're doing it. And
well, yeah, of course.
If we don't stop, then there's going to be, like, it's going to be horrible.
Who
basically.
Told you that?
What do you mean, who told me that?
Who told you that the climate change is going to...
What? I think there was...
Horrible.
What was the organization called where they basically did a bunch of studies where...
AOC?
No, isn't that a politician?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, there's... Like, I think it was pretty much a consensus in the scientific community that human beings are causing climate change, and there's even if we did pretty much everything we possibly could, the Earth's temperature will raise, like, average temperature will raise by like 2 degrees Celsius, which causes a lot of issues. Actually, it would have been 3, but luckily fun governments were trying to do something about it. Like,
well, okay, so here's the question, is that should the government implement, like, should the government... Okay, you know what? I don't want. I'm sick of this.
No, it's a good question, honestly, because I think there is, like, you know, like, how... Because to you, you're like, oh, well, the government's, you know, destroying all these jobs for farmers. So, like, what are they going to do? These are people's lives we're talking about. And, like, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, dog. If we implemented some socialist programs, we could just take care of them. But, like...
that were ran by the government.
I know, it's fun. I think it should be run by the people, but you can't have what I want. So
no, because we don't live in a utopia, and we never will.
Unless we get our Christian nationalism.
No, I actually had that argument with somebody today. Is that we will never reach a utopia.
Yeah, I know that.
Like a Christian nation, like there will never be a nation that is entirely populated by Christians, ever.
Okay.
And I say nation, I mean like a large nation. I mean, like, it depends on what you define as a nation. Like,
yeah, I know. We could go through the semantics of that if we really wanted to. Yeah. But so, yeah, I agree, though, that there's no such thing as a utopia.
And there never will be a utopia.
I don't know who you're trying to convince of this.
Okay. I'm just saying that there will never be a utopia. Let's move on to the next day.
Sure.
So we got Justin, Ukraine Energy Ministry urges Canada not to return to gas turbine needed to restore the flow of natural gas from Russia to Germany via Nord Stream 1.
Mm-hmm.
German Vice Chancellor Habeck today publicly appealed to the Canadian government to return the gas turbine in light of the looming gas shortage in the country. Sounds important. Don't care, though, because it's international, and we already went on something with international news. Tedros is concerned by the scale and CDC is seeking public comment on vaccination requirements for non-citizens who want to enter the U.S. as visitors. I don't know why the CDC is taken serious anymore. And I think you can kind of agree with me on that.
Kind of, but not really.
I mean, the CDC is ran by the Bill Gates
Foundation. Yeah, because so they can lie about the, like the safe amount of lead in our water or whatever, so they don't have to change the pipe so they can save some money.
Yeah, with all these peer-reviewed studies that, like, are all meant to...
Hey, man, like, I get where you're coming from, but also, like, we can't just throw out all of science. Like, we have to look at where these studies come from and who's the one who's paying for it, and are they wanting biased results? Are they paying for biased results?
Yes, that's all that big pharma is.
Yeah,
I know. It's just peer-reviewed studies to prove
but also,
why they're right.
They have to do some amount of effective work and be right, like enough for people to not just burn their building to the ground. So, like, they have to be right at least sometimes. So let's use our brains and do some studying and then figure out what they're right about and what they're being...
I'd say they're more wrong than right today.
About.
And speaking of which, here's a study right here, is that new Israeli cohort study involving 196,992 unvaccinated adults found no increase in the incidence of myocarditis and pericarditis after COVID infection.
What do those words mean? Myocarditis or whatever?
You haven't heard of that? No. I don't know how much that I can talk about it without getting banned off of YouTube. But no, really, the Crowder got kicked off because he spoke about this. Is that
spoke about it or lied about it?
No, speaking about it.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't know if you even watch Crowder, but
no, of course not.
Like, every single one of his episodes, he has his fact sheet, and they all come from left-wing sources. Like, they're buried articles, but you can find the truth.
Very specifically picking out certain things. A lot of the time, he's either completely, like, misinterpreting what it's actually saying to fit his narrative. Or he's lying about it.
Okay, yeah. Well, everybody's doing that. Everybody has a narrative, and they're putting things in there. He pulls
a factual study done and then picks it apart and only talks about the things that he wants to talk about so he can prove his point, instead of the overall point of the study, which probably will contradict him, depending on what we're talking about. Crowder lies, dude. Watch, like, just look at the hit pieces on him, man. Like, on YouTube, like, there's people who are just like make their whole entire YouTube career just like, this is how PragerU's wrong. This is how Ben Shapiro's wrong. This is how Crowder's wrong. This is how Jordan Peterson's wrong.
I know what rebuttals are.
This is like, yeah. So, like, have you looked at any of those?
Yeah, sure.
You're lying. I feel like you're lying.
Do you want to watch
Christians don't lie, Sam. Watch it.
Do you want to watch? If you have a rebuttal that we can, what is your favorite rebuttal video?
Well, are you talking about specifically with Steven Crowder? Because I have a whole playlist against Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson.
I'm gonna regret doing this, but if you have one,
I mean, let's see.
Yeah, somebody in the comments tossed out their gas shortage, as if there is a shortage of gas.
Well, I mean, also a lot of these are like at least 20 minutes long, probably like 10 to 20 minutes long, at least. So I don't know if we can watch like a whole thing.
They just talk.
Well,
it sounds like that they're trying to just get clicks.
Oh yeah, with their.
Well, if they're hitting in 20 minutes.
No, they're usually like an hour at least. Well, a lot of them are. But like, if the shortest ones I could find was like 11 minutes.
Okay, here. I've got.
Because these people want to be thorough and talk extensively about all these figureheads that you conservatives like to look up to.
Have you heard of Political Tunes? Or no, wait, what was it called? Freedom Tunes. Have you heard of Freedom Tunes?
No, it sounds real goofy.
Freedom Tunes is a. He's a right-leaning dude.
Of course, I'm shocked.
And he has these. They were really informative. I watched a couple of them, and they're funny. The Debunkers. If you've ever heard of that.
No.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can get some audio on this.
We can't play the whole thing, or we'll get like. No, YouTube will get all pissy about it.
Sure.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, I do know how it goes. The question is, where is... If I even will play the audio. Okay, it's supposed to be playing audio.
Tell us in the comments if you can hear anything.
No, I don't think they can, and this is really frustrating because the audio should be just going out, and like I see everything. Here's the audio, sound.
Well, while you're figuring that out, I'd like to state my welcome back to the first time to the Sam Daily Show with Anarcho Josh. I'd like to make a privilege check and say that I am no expert on anything, and I'm not well read, and you shouldn't listen to my opinions because I'm a crazy extremist, and really, most people are way more moderate than I am. And I would also say the same thing about Sam. Sam's a crazy extremist, and don't listen to him either. He's no expert on anything.
Thank you. I'm actually on that. I'm for that because somebody told me, and they're like, hey, be sure to say that kind of stuff so that they don't sue you or anything like that. Yeah, I'm totally a jokester. None of this is serious. Just in Vonovia, Germany's largest housing group begins to throttle its tenants heating at night to save gas. A spokeswoman said that single women are particularly feeling the effects of the throttling. Apparently, they are attacking the single women. They're raising their rent. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think we definitely... Single women or single mothers?
Single mothers. Actually, yeah, you're right. It's a single mothers.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
I'd rather they, like... You know...
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
Like, I don't know, maybe the schmucks who left those mothers?
I'm kind of okay with that. Like, the single mothers,
of course you are.
Need their rent doubled.
Why do you think the single mothers
I'm not getting into
doubled?
it. I don't think I don't need to explain any of that.
You don't need to explain why no, you don't think so?
No. Hundreds of thousands are affected. So, new Facebook commits international breach of German law, continues to delete users' accounts without legal basis. Hamburg's higher regional court rules. Just in, Prime Minister. This is all coming off of disclosed.tv. Let's just jump to the regular feed here. I'm kind of irked because I don't have audio on this.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Technical difficulties in streaming.
Yeah, well, so if you're with us today, then be with us next week because we're going to have someone who's running the stream board instead of me doing 6 jobs at once. It's going to be better. It's going to be awesome. If you would like to, be sure to subscribe. And then if you want to support the show, go to samdailyshow.com. Also, check out the articles. We've been pumping out some articles. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Especially on that shooter that came in.
Are these like written by our team?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our team. It's your team.
No,
I don't talk to these
no.
schmucks. I don't talk to you schmucks.
All right. So just arrived in Chicago, and my Uber driver is asking me for training and nutrition advice. Hopefully, I've inspired him to get Jacksonated. That's Zuby.
Jacksonated. I don't know what that means.
You know who Zuby is?
No. I'm so uncultured, dude. I don't get on the internet, really. I mean, I watch, like, YouTube, like, video essays all the time.
You just watch kids' YouTube videos, don't lie.
I really love the, like, Elsagate series on kids' YouTube. That was really good. We might now that might get us banned. There you go, Sam. You gotta look snazzy for the podcast.
I'm more of the clubmaster kind of guy.
No, I don't know what the hell.
So you're wearing those are Ray-Bans.
Oh yeah, they are.
Okay, so those are the I don't know what those kinds are. What are they called?
What?
I mean, they're not the aviators.
No, I have no idea, dude.
Okay.
I just went to the glasses shop and said I want these in sunglasses, and they're like, okay.
These are the Clubmasters. These are actually Bosch and Lohm. Ray-Bans bought Bosch and Lohm. Bosch and Lohm Ray-Bans, I guess, is Bosch and Lohm sold the company to, or they, I don't know the back end story. Maybe we can look that up.
Hey, fun. Well, never mind.
Okay, that's not very interesting. I don't know if I want to look that up.
Nah.
Okay.
Corporate blah 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 bought a smaller
here we go.
thing, and
John Paulson's wife sues him for $1 billion.
Why?
This is what.
And who's this guy?
This is
John
Paulson's.
Is he
His name is John Paulson. His name is John Paul. Have you seen Fight Club?
Yes, I've seen Fight Club.
It's actually Robert Paulson is the name in that movie. But John Paulson's wife sues him for $1 billion. Says he is hiding money in the divorce. The wife of hedge fund founder John Paulson has sued him for $1 billion, claiming he is trying to hide billions of dollars from her in the divorce. In a complaint filed on Thursday with New York State Court in Manhattan, Jenica Paulson said that her husband secretly created a funded 3 trusts to ensure. I don't care. Why is this front page?
Oh my God, rich guy has been hiding money from his wife who's mad at him. No way.
Trump backing off July 2024 campaign announcement report.
Oh, he's backing off.
Do you think he's going to run?
I think he'd be dumb if he did. But I think he was dumb to run last time. So I think he should have. You know what I think Trump should have done?
Tell me what Trump.
I think Trump should have really tried to take like his like TV career and his movie career to like the next level. Because honestly, as much as I hate him, he is he's kind of funny. Like I think like he has all these goofy expressions, and like he has a goofy voice. He's a goofy guy, and he could have taken that goofy guy energy and all of his like uppity egoism, where he also wants to be the center of attention, but like in an egomaniac kind of way, and he could have just kept rolling with it. But no, he had to like tried to.
What do you mean?
Become a dictator or whatever.
You know it was taken. You really trust the government that much to believe that wasn't.
Yeah, the anarchists trust the government.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here's my kick. Have you seen his tweets? His tweets are, it was my honor to welcome some extraordinary Americans to the White House today and honor each of them with our nation's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah.
My tweet on that, I don't know which one it was, but I just missed where the president would. You knew that it was the president who was tweeting, whereas now it's like, it's an NPC.
Yeah,
like,
you
this
have.
Is like
we have a whole team.
We have to remember who is the backbone of this country. The American worker.
Hey, if there's one thing that I agree with how Trump did things, it was like his ability to just say whatever came to his mind, you know, and tweeted it to the people, regardless of how that affected his optics, regardless of like how that might affect his campaign in the future, regardless of any of that. He just tweeted what was on his mind like everybody else. And I think that's a part of the reason why everyone liked him, because he was so like personable, because he's just some other idiot on Twitter. And then so, it's just so wild to me that he became president.
You heard
like,
it here live. Anarcho Josh misses Donald Trump.
No.
Don't lie.
I don't miss Donald Trump.
Wait a second. Megan Rapinoe receives Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor.
I don't like
What?
medals. Who is this person?
She's an idiot.
All right.
She is a soccer player for the American women's soccer team.
Okay, she's a soccer player.
Yes.
And she got a peace medal?
Yeah, and she's not going to be continuing her bloodline because she is, without a doubt, a lesbian.
Okay.
I like how this is great. Like, she's got pink
Rad.
hair, pink short hair,
Nice.
and receiving this medal. Also, the woman here that is handing the... Like, it's just theater at this point. You not see that?
What? What's theater?
Oh, wow.
The medal ceremony? Yeah,
No,
it's kind of goofy and ridiculous.
Not the medal ceremony. I'm talking about, like, the whole thing where, like, we need to have, like,
You
three
mean where
black
she's
people
presenting as a lesbian or what?
No, like we need to find... Okay, so somebody told me this. He's in corporate America, and he was telling me about his last job where basically he was sitting down with somebody, and they were talking about what kind of speaker that they needed at this... they needed a speaker for this event, and so they're like, I don't care who it is as long as they're not white. As long as they're not a white straight male.
Yeah, because that makes everyone feel good because it's welcome to rainbow capitalism. Like, welcome to, because it's all an act. This is, what do they call it? Virtue signaling? This is corporate virtue signaling. This is all this is. It's all virtue signaling.
So you see that?
But also, I get it because, like, people want to see representation other than straight white males, because I think we've had the floor for at least 400 years. And I think it's...
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
I think there's plenty of minority groups who would be happy to point out to you what's wrong with that.
Yeah. Tell me what's wrong with white people.
There's something inherently wrong with white people.
Yeah, what is that?
I just told you there's nothing inherently wrong with white people.
Okay. So why are we celebrating whenever there's less white people in America?
We're not necessarily celebrating, and also not less white people in America, just representation of, like, minorities, so, like, they can feel like they're a part of everybody else in this country.
Let me just look at this. Let me look up white people.
Did you just Google white people?
Yes.
Is that all you did? I'm doing extensive research here. You don't understand.
No, really. It's as easy as that. It's just search white people. Okay, so
What do
here we
you
go.
mean?
Here we go. White people. Okay. Watch Dear White People. Have you seen that?
I've heard about
Stupid.
Of course you think it's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But, like,
What's going
makes
on
sense
with
that you think
America's
that.
white people? And this is a political article. Can we run through this here? And you tell me where the racism begins, if there is any.
Okay.
Because obviously, Pride plus Prejudice or whatever. That's a good movie.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Donald Trump's appeal to working class. This is great because we just read a tweet from Joe Biden that said that America's backbone is the American worker or whatever. Real quick,
Sure is.
jumping over the comments, we don't have any. Be sure to comment. We're trying to get you included in on the show.
What?
Yeah. There's no comments.
There's no comments?
Yeah.
Like, no one's in the live chat?
No.
Not even the people from... Hey,
They're not going to listen to you.
my stupid idiot friends that I sent this link to. Could you, like, help with the algorithm?
That's how you get people to comment. Call them stupid idiots.
Well, they're my friends. I can call them whatever I want.
Okay, so Donald Trump's appeal to working class white Americans have no doubt stoked racial tension. But his popularity among these voters has also put an unexpected spotlight on their grievances. Whether they feel left behind by globalism and immigration or resentful of an elite political class that seems to ignore them, do poor white Americans suddenly feel more disgruntled than ever? Or are the rest of us just now paying attention? How much of their
Probably a combination of both.
peak
Sorry, go ahead.
has to do with economic factors versus matters of race or simply health? And what does all of this mean for American politics in 2016 and beyond? To answer those questions and more political blah, 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 blah. Susan Glaser, I'd love to just jump right in and ask each of you, what is going on with America's white people? And how much is that driving the Trump phenomenon in this year's election?
What's going on with America's white people?
So-
Why don't they like spices?
So this
Mayonnaise is not spicy.
So this is Ann Case. Who is Ann Case?
We spent our entire legacy destroying other cultures for their spices and then chose not to use any one of them.
So this is Ann Case.
Who's Ann Case? Tell me who Ann Case
Ann
is,
Case
Sam.
is Princeton University economist, which,
Oh,
if you get
well-respected economist then.
yeah, I guess.
Comes from, well, I wouldn't say well-respected, but comes from a pretty prestigious school. So maybe she's worth listening to.
Yeah. So Angus and I touched a nerve last fall when we published a piece on the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences that documented that among white non-Hispanics in middle age mortality after having fallen for large parts of the last century actually turned up and started to go the wrong way. And with the Centers for Disease Control also redocumenting that what we had done, the big drivers in that trend are what we call deaths of despair, which are suicide, drug overdose, and alcohol-related liver disease. Partly the surprise is that it is not just men, it is men and women, and it appears to be happening all over the country, and that resonated in the political season. I can't do these articles, man.
Well, they're not.
What does that have to do with...
See, articles aren't really great to just like read word by word on stream unless we're doing it for a lot longer than just like an hour or two.
Yeah, true. Let's go back to the tweets.
Yeah. Besides, we're on the internet. It's not like people's attention span's going to be great. So,
Amanda
Twitter
says,
it is.
Oh, found it. Apparently she was looking for how to comment, and she found it.
Okay, great.
And then the Sam Daily Review says, British people moment. That is true.
God, I wish I had their healthcare.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
You smoke.
I know.
Why,
I wonder how much
why
cigarettes
don't you just
are in
quit?
England.
If you're so concerned with your health, then why do you smoke?
It's not about that. It's about the principle. And also, I don't know if, like, English European healthcare covers, like, therapy, but that'd be nice. I would mostly use it for that.
You know what? If you need therapy that bad, I'll cover the cost.
Oh, hell yeah? Hell yeah,
No.
dog.
I'm not paying
I'm going to be
anything.
talking about you a lot in there.
This is kind of funny.
I just don't understand.
This was the Republican version of AOC.
I don't even know what AOC looks like. Is that bad? Should I care?
No.
Yeah. I don't
Honestly,
think
it's
so.
not a big deal.
Should I care about, like, who Josh Hawley is, though?
Hey, look, Breaking 911 got their account back.
What is Breaking 911?
It's a Twitter that
This is a
has
small,
great news.
fun look into a Republican. My favorite content creator got unbanned for being terrible. This is great.
Did you see this video of the man? Here we go. New York City man sentenced to 33 in friendly. No, it's not that. There's also another one that there's really not much going on in the news today. Oh wait, here we go. Thor: Love and Thunder. Have you seen that?
Oh my god, I cannot tell you how much I don't care about the MCU. It's like what made Marvel movies good, like Iron Man or like Iron Man. What made Iron Man good? And what, like, no, because I was gonna say Captain America, but no one liked the first Captain America. Like, origin stories are always like the best. And
Marvel
then,
sucks. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there.
yeah, and then they try to do these
All of them
collaboration
except for like
things.
they are like the best worst movies to watch right now.
Right, because
Any
everyone's talking about them, so you like FOMO and all that. But like, honestly, they're all like I saw Multiverse of Madness. And
Hey,
like,
look, the America's Stonehenge has been demolished.
there's an American Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Why was it
Apparently
demolished?
it's like a satanic deal that got demolished out there in Georgia. You hear about
Okay,
this?
satanic in what way? Are we talking
Georgia
about?
Guidestones.
Because you use
Video.
satanic pretty liberally.
Well, yeah. whenever the country is falling apart like it is, it's
The country has been falling apart for over 100 years.
yeah.
So
According to state's tourism website, this 19-foot high monument displays a 10-foot message espousing the conservation of mankind and future generations in 12 languages. The guide stones also serve as an astronomical calendar, and every day at noon, the sun shines through a narrow hole in the structure and illuminates the day's date on
that's cool.
engraving. The names of the 4 ancient languages are inscribed on the side near the top. Babylonian cuneiform, classical Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphics.
I'm sorry, when was this thing made? What is this?
I have no idea.
I mean, it sounds rad. And also...
Well, you would say is that.
Well, of course I would. It just sounds cool. And what did you say it was, like the writing said? Like, humanity should stop repopulating, essentially?
It's something stupid. Georgia Guidestones.
I mean...
The mystery behind the Georgia Guidestones continues. The Georgia Guidestones were a 19-foot tall granite monument, and nobody knows who put them there or for what reason. Erected in 1980 and destroyed in 2022.
Oh, it was made in 1980. Okay, that makes sense. I was like... What do you mean?
But we don't know who put him there.
Yeah. Probably some guy who really liked ancient architecture because it was like based off the stars and stuff. That sounds cool. And also probably was tired of all you fundamentalist Christians telling him what your God thinks of him.
Yep.
Probably.
President Biden on fatal police shooting in Jayland Walker, Akron, Ohio, says if the evidence reveals potential violations of federal criminal statutes, the Justice Department will take the appropriate action. I don't know what that means. This cop got called an F-boy.
Good.
Oh, maybe... No, never mind. The cop called him an F-boy.
No. Well, screw you.
Murder charges filed. Let's go back to home. Maybe we'll get something that pops up. Oh, a Elon Musk tweet. Doing my best to help the underpopulation crisis.
Underpopulation crisis?
Yeah.
What?
A collapsing birth rate is the biggest danger civilization faces by far.
And what do you think causes a collapsing birth rate?
What?
What do you think causes a collapsing birth rate?
I thought we discussed this. It's pornography.
You think it's pornography?
Yeah.
I would say a lot of it has
the devaluing of life. So
you think it's some philosophical, like, cultural thing that's causing this?
I'm pretty sure that everything is pretty deep like that, what you're saying.
Well, I was going to say, like, material conditions. That probably has a big factor to do with it.
Yeah, because we're not living
if you can't barely afford to feed yourself.
We're living in the best
If you're working at a minimum wage job. I have a whole bunch of notes here to prove to you that
Anarcho
you
Josh,
can't afford.
question for you. I don't know if this goes with the topic, but how can you explain the extreme anti-white prejudice in the BLM movement as they say things like, oof, the white people?
How can I explain? I'm sorry. What was the beginning of that? How can I explain the extreme what?
He says for you,
anti-white nonsense.
He says, how can you explain the extreme anti-white prejudice?
Okay,
in the
that's
BLM
not an extreme
movement?
anti-white prejudice to be like, oof, white people. A lot of white people go, oof, white people. Because white people have a lot of reasons to react like that. They're probably tired of, us not caring about their plight or their struggle or the systemic racism that affects them and their families. That's probably why. I mean, how can I explain the fact that white or black people don't like white people? Probably for a lot of obvious reasons. Like, I don't know, like, well, and I'm sure that, like, their response is going to be like, well, they're being racist, and that's not okay, right? And I'm like...
Can black people be racist?
Yeah, black people can be racist.
You ever met a black racist?
No, not necessarily.
You've never met...
I mean, I've seen one.
Do you have
on,
any black friends?
The internet. Yeah, I have a few. I don't think that matters.
Why doesn't that matter?
I mean, like, It's kind of like how you Republicans.
Like a friend is someone you want the best for, right?
Yeah.
Like you got their back.
Okay, I mean, if we're gonna sit there and be all semantics about it, I'm friends with everybody because I want what's best for everybody. Right?
No, you're not friends with everybody.
I try to be.
You hate a lot of people.
Then
you are saying
I mostly
racism
hate
is
politicians.
okay as long as it's black people.
No, I'm not. I don't think racism's okay, but I understand where they're coming from. And also,
you understand why people are racist.
I understand why black people don't like white people because of racism. And I don't think it's like you can sit there and be like, well, they're being racist when they're the ones who are being affected by racism way more than a Karen who's going, they said oof white people and that means that they're racist. No, shut up. You're a snowflake.
How are people being affected by racism today in America?
Systemic racism. Like, how are they being affected by racism today in America? There is a whole bunch of, what was it? Like, I wouldn't say there were studies, but like a bunch of tests were done where a black family would try to sell their home, get a really stupid low price for it, and then they would, like deny the guy who appraised their house and be like, no, you're full of it. They would then replace all their family photos with white people family photos, and they got appraised for their house by like a ridiculous amount. And there's stories like this everywhere. It's a lot of it has to do with housing that it affects people and racism.
William Morris is uwu.
Who's William Morris?
What does uwu mean?
I have a song for you to hear. Uwu is a stupid. Do you not know? Do you really not know what? Okay, so
I've gotten bits and pieces of what it means.
Uwu is not a saying. It's actually a face. It's like, those like it's like no, it's no different than like a smiley face, like emoticon or whatever, where you have the colon and then the parenthesis and it makes a smiley face. That's just like the stupid anime face that a bunch of emo weebs back in my day when they were teenagers and first got access to the internet. Yeah. It's a U3U, and so that makes it look like a stupid anime cat face.
Yeah.
And then it just got worse from there. I can't believe you Googled it. Like, especially Google image search. Are you sure there isn't a whole bunch of porn coming up? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so that's what uwu means.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, there's this song that's stuck in my head now. It's so funny. Well, I'm sorry. Can we move on? Yeah, we can move on.
Let's see here. Is that it says right here on this tweet. I don't know if I can share like.
Also, black people need reparations because they never got their 4 acres and a mule. That's probably another reason why.
Shut up, at white people. Dude. Just shut up about that.
The government subsidized a whole bunch of housing and gave all these housing builders a bunch of money on the very explicit condition that they only sold to white people and made sure that the homes were never sold to black people, so they never generated multi-generational wealth through their land ownership and their housing. And so they've been horribly affected through the and it actually has gotten like exponentially worse as time has gone on because they've never really.
Why don't you just give all of your money to black people?
Because that won't make a difference to the black people in the majority.
Okay.
You know what
so
will?
You don't think money will? You don't think money will do a
By
difference?
convincing our crappy government to actually like
throw more money at a problem.
By rebuilding the infrastructure, in poor neighborhoods that mostly would affect black people.
Do you think that throwing money at a problem fixes it?
Oh my God, it's not just throwing money at a problem.
Do you think that the government has ever fixed any issue?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Like
technically.
What?
Well, I mean, government itself. I mean, I guess they probably like kept us out of some wars, but I don't think so. I think they got us into more wars.
If you were to advocate for government,
but I don't want to.
As an anarcho-communist.
I don't want to though. I don't like that I have to. The problem is I have to start where we're at, which is like this aristocratic, like democratic republic, which is garbage because it's not even democratic hardly, due to gerrymandering and electoral college and Supreme Court. I don't get to pick who's in the Supreme Court. The president does.
Okay, let's keep going through this. Yeah, by the way, big W on our part.
Yeah, I know. You're probably ecstatic.
I am.
I sure would love to have an argument with you about it at some point.
Yeah, about Roe v. Wade. I thought we already talked about that.
Oh, we did, but then you deleted the conversation. So.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd have to reshoot that one.
Did we talk about, January in that one?
I
might be able to put that back up. In fact, yeah, we did. No, we didn't.
I don't know if it was in that one, but I
it was in one of them.
I mean, I know there was one where I really went ham on it. Boy, howdy, that'd be a fun one, huh? We could talk about that one. Have you been watching the hearings?
I don't know, but I keep seeing this lady twerking. Apparently, I guess some politician or something twerked for votes.
Twerked for boats or votes?
Votes.
Oh.
For boats.
I would have rather she twerked for boats. That's more fun. No, yeah, because you know why? Do you know why she did that?
Why?
Because that's her job. All politicians have to do is make sure they get voted back in, and then they get to keep their job. So that's all they care about.
There's legitimately nothing going on. Oh, have you seen this video of
I bet there is. I bet, the left media is not.
Oh, here we go.
telling
This
you.
is a pretty good take, because they do this to humiliate us. It's a form of pageant mockery.
What is?
Giving Rapinoe that
The soccer player?
Gal, yeah.
Giving her. What was it? Why did she get a medal, by the way? What was she get a medal for?
I
don't even know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, I'm sitting here.
If anybody knows why Megan
poo-pooing.
Rapinoe deserves a medal, go ahead and put it in the comments. So sad that it got deleted.
I know. Blame Sam.
I will not re-upload it, but I'll make it public again. It's just after posting that, and here's something that we haven't really gotten into on live, but YouTube will just take down your account.
Yeah, YouTube.
You understand that
YouTube has
that.
worse communication skills than Sam. It's terrible. They'll just do stuff. They'll put on a blindfold and start shooting wildly at any general direction of a topic that they deemed risque. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again. So all sorts of our favorite creators. So
have you had any creators that you liked that got censored?
No, but I've had creators I liked who definitely had friends who got censored for dumb reasons. There was this whole mother horse eyes debacle. That was their YouTube channel name. They were exposing people who did bad things to children. But they got taken down for it, and then he made a whole dramatic thing. I don't agree with the way he went about it, but yeah, it was just the subject he was talking about, even though it was completely against those people.
Yeah, you can't even talk about it. You can't even say the words because might
YouTube's
get
dumb.
Banned. That should be a term. Ganned means that you're banned by gun.
I think we should just have a reference.
What do you think of that shooting?
Goofy words. Oh yeah, there was some shooting, wasn't there?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't.
Does that mean that we have to put our flag at half-mast on July 4th now? I have this
theory. If we put our
theory.
flag at half-mast every time every day there was a shooting, we would just never. It would never be up.
I have this theory that that's what they're aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the July 4th was the.
Who's they?
Do you not believe that the government has their hand in things?
That's kind of their job.
Do you believe that there is collusion between social media and the government?
Well, social media is run by big business, and that's definitely has a collusion with the government.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of. But also, big business is going to do whatever they can to make money. So, and listening to the government's obviously not good with their money, so why would big business listen to them other than the government helping them out to make them more money?
I'm listening to you slightly. Oh,
I know you don't.
I'm sorry that my son Hunter, the Hunter Biden movie, coming soon. I gotta follow this.
We should have a movie marathon where we watch that and then we watch Matt Walsh's stupid what is a woman thing, so I can shit on all over it.
I don't understand how you don't see that that's an issue, that we don't know what a woman is.
Matt Walsh doesn't know what a woman is.
No, you don't either. What is a woman?
It's someone who identifies as one.
Okay. That's a circle definition.
No, you're right. Because the concept of what is a woman technically doesn't.
What is a camera?
Are we talking about...
what is a motorcycle? I never got to finish that in that video. Is that what is a motorcycle? A motorcycle has 2 wheels, right? That's what defines a motorcycle.
What about those 3-wheeled motorcycles?
What defines a woman?
Have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus?
Oh my gosh.
How many parts of the boat can you take off before it's not the same boat anymore?
You're a deconstructionalist, and that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
What do you mean?
You can't do that. You can't deconstruct language.
Yeah, you can. We do it all the time. That's what semantics are.
No.
You sit there and say, this word means this thing, and I say, no, it means this thing.
Define a woman.
A woman is a part of a bimodal understanding of our concept of gender, which is a human construct.
Gosh. America's getting dumber and dumber. Amanda says
I think I sounded pretty smart there.
The issue is a man made it. Amanda,
man made
are you aware
phone
that the man made pretty much everything that even the tampon was made by a man. Did you know that? It was made by an Indian man.
Oh, the problem was that a man made it, not that man.
Yeah, the problem is that a man made it. I don't use tampons because a man made it.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, it depends on context.
Amanda Mays, is that one of your friends?
I don't know.
Nice try, Amanda. What else is going on? Let's see. Oh yeah, so this movie, My Son Hunter, the Hunter Biden movie, coming soon. The Hunter Biden movie. The media does not want Hunter's story to be told.
Oh, I know what Amanda means. Sorry. She means that Matt Walsh made a movie trying to figure out what a woman is, and that he's a man, and he probably has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know. And at the end of it's a documentary. At the end of the documentary, he goes and asks his wife, and then his wife tells him. That's the whole.
Oh, you mean the person who agrees with him ideologically? Yeah. Okay.
No, the one that birthed his children.
Okay.
Because she's a woman and only women can.
No, that's not necessarily
But we don't want to say that.
Did you know that there's a procedure you could get done where you have a womb inserted into you? And then that means that you can get pregnant and have kids. Did you know that you can actually?
Natural.
We need
to go back to a more natural society where we're not putting carbon into the atmosphere so that the climate
the world doesn't catch on fire and everyone dies.
Catch on fire. And then we should also be eating more vegetarian food.
We should.
And we should be consuming things that don't have lead and poisoning in them.
I agree.
And then we should also implant wombs inside of men to make them have babies.
If they really want to have babies, then they would actually have more of a right to say on what happens with abortions.
That's called retarded.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That all seemed pretty base to me.
Dude, right now, our health secretary, the assistant to the health secretary right now is a man that believes that they are a woman.
Okay.
Can a man become a woman?
Yeah.
How?
Oh, well, it's usually a combination of presentation and hormone blockers and.
Okay, so a woman is defined by her features.
Not necessarily. It's more about identification than features. Features help.
So define a woman. What are some features?
Here's your problem with this, because you're trying to sit there and say that the only thing is we have biological males and we have biological females, and that's just how it is, and we can't mess with the natural order of things because you refuse to acknowledge the fact that gender can be pretty separated from sex.
No, it can't.
Biological sex.
No, it can't.
It can't?
You just came up with that. Do you know who even came up with that? What is his name? John Money? Do you know who John Money is? He's the one that
sounds familiar.
Comments help me out.
But also, I don't care who came up with it. We're all using this terminology, and we all have an understanding of what it means.
John Money was a New Zealand psychologist, sexologist, and author known for his research into sexual identity and biology of gender. Let's say Wikipedia. This is a very left-wing source. He is controversial for his conduct towards vulnerable patients. He was one of the first researchers to public to publish theories on the influence of social constructs of gender on individual formation of gender identity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this
Cool.
is where it comes from, right?
Yeah, he did a study about it.
No, it says right here is that published theories on...
Published theories?
Yes, he introduced the terms gender identity,
Oh.
gender role, and sexual orientation.
Okay.
So do you want to know more about your forefather that led the generation into gender identity,
Yeah,
gender
but
role, and
see,
sexual orientation?
you
Do you want to
hold
know
a-
more about him?
you hold a lot
Do you
of
want to
stock.
know? No. Do you want to know more about him?
Sure, Sam.
Okay,
Tell
let's
me.
learn some more about him. So he
Let's.
spent a considerable amount of time in his career in the United States in 1997. Okay, so let's just jump down here. Oh, controversies. This looks spicy. Let's jump into it.
I always love this
Sex
section.
resignation, reassignment of David Reimer. During his professional life, Money was respected as an expert on sexual behavior, especially known for his views that gender was learned rather than innate.
I agree.
Okay. However, it was later revealed that his most famous case of David Reimer, born Bruce Reimer, sorry for dead naming, but this is on Wikipedia,
You're just reading an article.
was fundamentally flawed. In 1966, a botched circumcision left 8-month-old Reimer without a penis.
Oh,
Money persuaded
no,
the
dude.
baby's parents that sex reassignment surgery would be in Reimer's best interests. At the age of 22 months, Reimer underwent an ochiectomy, in which his testicles were removed, surgically removed. He was reassigned to be raised as
pause you?
female,
Can I
and his
pause you right
name
here?
changed from Bruce to Brenda.
Can I pause
Yeah, go ahead.
you right here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, not a big fan of circumcision. So, issue number 1. Second of all, he went through like
You think it was an
sex
accident?
reassignment surgery after that because they cut it off. Like, I don't think they should have done that. I don't think they should have done that
Okay.
because he didn't. First of all, he didn't consent to the circumcision, and then he didn't consent to like them forcibly changing his sex into this bimodal thing that everyone says that we have to either be in this one camp or the other. You just like it's not that, like, I don't understand why he did that. And so, yeah,
Hold on. Let's keep going about this. Your godfather of gender.
Again, also, I don't care about who created this, like, the terms. We all vibe with
should.
the terms. Why should I? Like, tell me why I should. Tell me why.
Because he is the one who defined them.
So, and definitions change a lot.
That's another thing is that you're okay with
Definitions changing.
Yeah.
Especially if it, like, fits
The
our
narrative?
purpose. Not our narrative. Fits our
Yes.
purposes of what we need to use it
No,
for.
it's not okay if
Why not?
definitions change.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Let me Google it. No, I'm just kidding. Why is it not okay that definitions change?
Yeah, tell me why it's not okay.
So I need an example, like the definition of racism.
Like, what is a
recently
woman?
Changed.
How about that?
No, the definition of racism recently changed. Where it used to mean, what racism used to mean, it was that it's a belief, or it is action, thought, whatever it is, that that it's where you believe that that one race has superior over another
Innate
race.
qualities, yeah.
Yes, but not just as like thinking it, but then also like a racist act would be like putting somebody, you're gonna go over here because of your race.
Right.
Which then again, now that I think about it, I might be a little bit racist.
You heard it here, folks. Oh my god. All right. Yeah.
Well, I believe. Well,
Why do you think you're a little bit racist, Sam?
Well, I believe that there are some races that are superior to others.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that?
Yeah, like what? Like,
So let's just think of the positives here. So Asians are more intellectually. They're more. They're generally.
you think that has
smarter.
to do with their race and not their culture?
No, I think you're right. I think it does have a lot more to do with the culture.
Right. Okay.
We can walk through it. Okay. So I believe that Samoans are certainly more capable physically. Like they have more physical strength.
Because generally they're like bigger or
like,
whatever.
I think in the NFL is that like 12%, not 12%, but there's a higher likelihood that if you are Samoan that you will get into the NFL. Here we go. We got some comments here. We'll go back to the racism thing and then back to the John Money in just a moment. And man didn't invent tampons. He just patented them. Women used them as far back as ancient Egypt.
No. Well, that makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like.
Okay, he mass produced them. He designed.
Put a patent on them.
He created a more. He made them better.
And did he? Because tampons are pretty simple. And also, like, was his tampon just as advanced as the tampons of today? Did he really make them better? Why would it be?
Okay,
capitalism, am I right?
So, Jacob Baker says, "Yo, Josh.
Yeah, what's up, dog?
Thanks for our conversation. When I was on, glad we could share blue moons and trees together.
I'll be doing all right, dog.
Yeah.
Crazy ass.
Yeah, he's pretty nuts.
I mean, he's an anarcho-capitalist. Come on.
Yeah, can you get kicked off if you say that you're a little bit racist?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. If you can, I'm going to be so mad. I'll be mad. I'll be mad for you. Because, like, we get someone to admit that they're a little bit racist on air. Like, that's progress. Like, that's the humanity moving forward.
Well, and you also have to see where
recognition is the first step.
And that's also based off of the former. And this goes in great to why definitions are important, because when you change that definition, then
what did definition of racism change to? Because you said it was like a thought, an action, or a belief that, you know.
I like how your whole sidestep from this John Money thing.
Well, I mean, like, we can go back to the John Money thing, but also, again, like, just because there's a guy named John Money who created, like, the theory and the idea, like... Why
Merriam-Webster changed the definition of racism?
And there's a big Black Lives Matter banner.
Yeah.
I love that.
The death of an African man while in custody of Minneapolis police on May 25th drew many reactions across the United States, including a question about definition of racism as it appeared in a prominent dictionary. Merriam-Webster, whose dictionaries are ubiquitous in U.S. classrooms, offices, and libraries, has announced that it will refine the definition of the word racism in its publication to include the concept of systemic racism. The action followed an inquiry from a recent college graduate who took issue with the publication's three-part description of the word as prejudice, doctrine, and political program. As protests spread following the death of George Floyd, a black man who died while in police custody, Merriam-Webster's editors requesting a revised entry that included the definition of systemic racism. Racism is not only prejudice against a certain race due to the color of a person's skin. The Drake University graduate wrote to the editing team, it is both prejudice combined with social and institutional powers. It is a system of advantage based on skin color. Oh, they also redefined the word redefined to be refined. They used the wrong word. Can we do a call-in? Certainly.
No, sure.
Hop in the server and you can call in, Jacob. You are always welcome to the show.
Oh, it's Jacob?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I found a bunch more contradictions in the Bible.
Yeah, I bet you did. Making sure here that it is...
Actually, it was the ones I had before. I don't know why I didn't reference them.
I don't know if it's going to certainly pop up, though, because it is...
Oh, yeah. Our audio thing's a little issues. We'll test it out for a little bit. If it doesn't work out after a while, we'll just give up on it.
You're more than welcome to call in, Jacob. Be a guest, sure. If anybody else wants to also join the server, you're more than welcome to. The password is SOAP.
S-O.
Did you try that soap, by the way, I gave you?
Yeah, I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, it smells good.
I gave you the pine, yeah?
I don't know. It doesn't really smell piney, but what was the other?
The other day.
What was the other scent?
Just no scent.
Oh.
Just washed.
I don't know.
I like how he asked if we could do a
fine.
call in and then he doesn't show up.
I know, like, come on, bruh. What's wrong with you?
Anyway, what's wrong with redefining words is that language is the foundation for communication, right?
Sure.
Yes. Yeah, like if we have any common ground between any, like that is our common ground. Like if there's nothing else, then language is our common ground. Can we agree with that?
No.
No, why?
Language isn't our common ground. I don't speak Chinese. I mean, sure, we all speak a language, but we all have, like, a heartbeat.
No, that's like the start of like forming a relationship with anybody is that we have to speak the same language.
No,
right?
Not even that. You just have to have an understanding. It's like if I wave my arms at you, like, do you understand what my arm waving movements? I mean, I guess if you want to consider that language, then sure. Communication.
Yes.
Let's change it to communication.
Okay, communication. So the language is the foundation of communication?
No, communication is the foundation of, like, what brings us together.
We cannot communicate without having the same... We cannot communicate verbally without...
Verbally?
Yes. Without a consensus on what words mean.
Well, generally, sure. But then when it comes to certain words, we don't really need a consensus to, like, still communicate.
Okay, we've got caller on line 1. Let's see if... hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Or you answered and then I immediately dropped the phone, so.
Okay.
Oh, fine.
So we've got a caller on line 1. His name is Jacob. Jacob, where are you calling out of?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome.
Gross.
Awesome, Jacob. We really appreciate the phone call. What kind of questions do you have for this moron?
No, I actually had a question for you.
No,
When I said that this moron, I was actually referring to me. So
Okay. Sorry, I hear
Now I'm offended.
moron and assume you mean the communist.
Yeah,
but
now
no, I
I'm
mean
offended.
not-
Now I'm offended.
No.
Where's our anarchist solidarity, you piece of shit?
Yeah. But yes, here's some anarchist solidarity here. What do you mean you can't communicate verbally without language? Have you ever heard R2D2 scream?
What do you mean? Okay.
I mean, think about this, right? If you hear a baby scream and cry, you know that there's not something correct with that baby.
Yeah.
You don't speak the same language as that baby.
Yep.
That baby has no language.
Yep.
However, it can yell and cry, and it can laugh and giggle, so you can communicate without language.
Sure. But I'm saying that's why I dialed it in. And
Well, yeah,
you called in like after I said verbally.
Don't worry, I already pushed him back to
No,
communication,
I said
not
verbally.
language.
That was my point.
So, okay, then can I dial it in even more? Is that you cannot communicate verbally with
Words.
precisely?
Hey, Jacob, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what you got, Josh?
Do you believe that it is bad to change the definition of words?
Unless you're going for a more accurate definition.
I see. So it is sometimes good to change the definition of words.
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
Now,
I'm not going to sit here and be an absolutist on, all words are what they are.
That's fair. That's fair. By the way, if you're listening or watching, be sure to check out the Jacob Daily Show that was aired on... When was that?
It was right before you deleted everything.
It's still up there, though. I'm pretty sure I kept
did you
that
leave
one.
that one up?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah, yeah.
cool.
It was during Gay Pride Month.
That's right.
Oh, right.
That's right. Yeah. Or also known as Anarcho Josh Month.
I wish I had my own.
Well, yeah, that's why you had me on the show.
Yeah. Or Jacob Baker Month. We should have a Jacob Baker Month.
For my Christian free market anarchism.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible nightmare fuel. Yeah.
That Anarcho Josh loves.
Nope. Hey, did you want me to read off some contradictions that I found in the Bible?
Also, fun fact, I went back and did some research. Abraham did not marry his sister. He went into Egypt and with his wife and was like, "Hey, we're gonna say you're my sister, so that way they don't kill me."
And if I was actually listening to your guys' conversation, I could have hopped in and told you that. But instead, I was just running the board and asking really awesome questions. Speaking of awesome questions, sometimes it's bad, like the definition of the word literally no longer means its actual definition. Oh, the word literally.
Oh, that's because people were misusing it so long that we've just decided that that's not the definition of that word anymore, and I'm all for it.
You literally just said exactly what that person commented.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, I was looking through notes.
That would actually be the correct. That would actually be the correct, maybe, use of that word. Anyway,
I mean, I would say the definition of liberty has changed for a positive
liberty
over the course of years. Yeah, it has become a more all-encompassing thing, and I think that it is more befitting to the word liberty.
Can you hear?
But
him?
I think racism should definitely be, how do we put it? A belief or exercise thereof in which a person holds that one race is superior above all others.
Yeah, well, the way they redefined racism is like not that drastically different.
That is the definition of racism.
Is that what they changed it to in Merriam-Webster?
No. That is the definition of racism. The one that they changed it to is not right.
I think all it does is just kind of like pull in like systems that are also racist. Because systems.
Yeah, but I mean, it also gets rid of the. I mean, what it does is it nullifies other important words such as prejudice.
True. Let's look at another definition of vaccinated. Do you know they changed the definition of vaccinated? Maybe you're not okay with that one.
Oh my God! Here we go.
I can look it up here. You what?
I'll be right back. I gotta walk into the store. Give me like 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on silent. Vaccinated definition. They changed it. Before it just meant that it is. Okay, so the definition now is treat with a vaccine or produce immunity against a disease. That's right. They changed it from treat with a vaccine to produce immunity against disease. Wait a second. There's another definition.
Well, sometimes words have multiple definitions. Isn't that fun?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I think so.
Here. A preparation that is administered to stimulate the body's immune system against a specific infectious agent or disease. So I'm pretty sure they changed it to where a vaccine doesn't necessarily mean that it causes immunity. And that was the switch up. So it used to mean that if you got vaccinated, that means that you were immune then after the vaccine. Where now today it doesn't necessarily mean that you are immune.
I think the old version of vaccine
you have a less likelihood of chance to have the symptoms that follow with said disease. What?
Why do you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I think the old definition of vaccination probably wasn't accurate. I don't think I think.
So you don't think that to be vaccinated it means that you are?
No, because vaccinations, I don't think really ever actually gave you immunity to stuff. I think it gave you like a really low likelihood of actually getting whatever it is you got vaccinated for.
Yeah, I think it meant that like it was a low enough likelihood that you can safely say that you would not receive it.
Yeah, except this is the problem here, is that immunity is an extreme word that doesn't really encompass the actual definition. Kind of like utopia. Utopia will never exist, and neither will pure immunity, I don't think, when it comes to diseases.
So we should just use up all the gas.
No.
Yes.
Why? And then what?
I pay $200 every other week to fill up my truck.
I probably
pay
more in gas than you do. What's your point?
Doubt it.
I am a delivery driver, but okay.
I drive a Chevy and a Beamer.
I drive a Ford. What?
I probably spent around $1,000 on gas.
Okay, whatever. We can stop with the dick measuring contest of who spends more on gas.
Yeah,
anyway,
Sam Daily Show Review says, I'd like to hear Anarcho Josh debunking anarchism with the Bible. Literally, the most base thing you're about to do.
Debunk anarchism with the Bible?
Yeah. This is going to be a clip. It's going to be great. Let's go.
Well, you see, if you have a belief in God, and believe that he should be your authority, that absolutely is pretty anti-anarchist, due to the fact that anarchists generally, not all of them, but generally want to abolish hierarchies, and the existence of this Christian God kind of creates like the most extreme hierarchy of all. And so to be a true anarchist, I don't think you should really be a Christian, but that's just kind of a bit. I don't really care. Also, there's a whole lot of contradictions in the Bible.
Anarchy is not the dissolution of all hierarchies. First off, that's the left's view of anarchy. I believe in naturally formed hierarchies, and what greater authority is there than that of which is all that is good and nothing that is evil.
Your God is
so
good.
Men are corruptible. Men are evil.
Yeah, I know.
God is not.
Yeah, I know. Except God is. So.
It's not.
Whatever you say, buddy. Whatever you say.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Oh my, are you really gonna?
The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God said,
"Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?"
And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. And God said, "Let there be expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so, I know, you're melting every time I say the words that come from this holy book. It's so great. You have such...
It's called Christian trauma.
And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening and there was morning the second day.
Hey, what are you doing, Sam?
So you're reading the book of Genesis, but have you read the book of Moses?
What is going on?
Did you not see that video, the Pride Festival video? If you're watching right now, be sure to check out the Pride Festival video. Actually, the one calling in right now, Jacob, is in that video. Great video. It's called Pride Month Insanity.
You should have been in it longer if you ask me.
Asking hard questions. I think that's what the name of the video is. It's changed a couple times. Let's jump back into the comments. The comments are going nuts.
I bet.
Amanda says, the new definition is the correct definition. The old one is not as a healthcare worker for over 17 years.
No, there you have it, folks. New definition.
Actually, the definition that I've always perceived for vaccination was where you get infected with a weaker form of the virus, and so your body can develop immunity on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what the latest one is. We can't really touch on this, or else we'll. We have somebody going.
I'm not. All clarification
are we having a spammer in the chat?
With all clarification, so we don't get banned. I am not a medical expert.
Yeah.
And I believe firmly in trusting the scientists.
Every time something like that is said, I lean more towards the libertarian anarchy side of things. Whenever you have to
listen, everybody out there, don't take everything that I say serious.
Are you a scientist? Should I listen to you about this stuff? No. Why wouldn't I listen to the people who made it their entire life's job and career to study this stuff?
Dude,
the people who are paid by companies that you also hate.
Yeah, well, I don't think they should. Again, we don't live in the world that I want to live in. But if we're not going to sit here and just be like, well, anyone who gets paid with money is evil either.
Amanda says, let him read his storybook. Jeez.
If it makes you feel better, Sam, I'm sorry I tried to stop you,
What? No, you were
I think they're right. I think you should. I think you should be allowed to read your storybook. I just didn't understand why you were doing it. It just made no sense to me. And then you just kept going, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I don't understand.
William keeps saying me join. You're more than welcome to join in. That would be cool if we had caller from line 2, because we've never had any more than caller from line 1. We'll get there one of these days.
Welcome.
Though. If you're just now joining, be sure to go to Sam Daly's show and join the community. Just scroll down the bottom and push join. What else is in here?
Oh, do you not want me to read off my contradictions I found in the Bible?
Oh my gosh. Not really, because we've only got about like 10 more minutes. And
all right, I'll save it for next time.
I want to close out. Jacob, do you have any more questions other than trying to make me look stupid, which you did successfully? Yes, a baby can communicate with.
Well, I was going to come to your defense there and say that we've already gone past the not like language, but communication is a great foundation for like what holds our society together. So yeah,
really,
it's whatever.
Really quickly before we head out, I'm trying to find my notes here where I have written down a whole bunch of Bible verses that support Christian anarchy.
Oh gosh.
Can we save this for next time? Can you call into the next show? And we can just have a whole Jacob show again. That was fun.
No.
Come on.
Yeah, if he ever comes
I'd
here,
have to drive all the way
I'm pretty sure that he's looking at even potentially moving here.
That'd be rad.
It's a possibility, but it's not a very big one.
Sam has been trying to drag anyone he can into the state. I don't know why. It sucks here.
What are you talking about?
Missouri? It sucks.
Oh, this is the worst place ever, man. There's food everywhere and like air conditioning and like,
systemic racism.
Systemic racism.
A government that likes to go to war.
You can get that anywhere in the U.S.
And
look at history.
I know, it's terrible.
Look
it
at
sucks.
history, man.
I know,
We've
it sucks.
come a long ways.
Yeah, we've come so far. Totally.
Here we go. Okay.
Oh my God, here we go. Here we go.
I would say I want people to write these down if they're listening. Read Acts 4:26. Read Psalm 2, or just the entirety of Psalm 2. Read Psalm 146 verse 3, Acts 5 verse 29. What else do I have here? Matthew 6:24. Which is actually a really big one, where it says, "No man can serve two masters, for he will either hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold on to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and man."
Well, it's mammon. Mammon
Right.
is referring to fame, money.
Right, fleshly. All people.
It's not necessarily referring to people.
Right, which all people have the desire to hold, though, which is why it's...
Yeah, I know, but it has nothing to do with man.
Right. I mean, I would disagree. I mean, look at everyone who's a politician. They're all super famous. They revel in it too.
Yeah, but it's something that's not tangible. It's not something that's it's fame and it's wealth. Like it's becoming wealthy. So I would argue that. But go ahead, finish your anarcho Bible verses. And we've got another caller on line 2. We'll get to, but Jacob, Go ahead. You're good. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'm going to summarize real quick. Isaiah 40, God doesn't care about our countries. Psalm 2, our leaders are set against God. 1 Samuel chapter 8, wanting a government is a rejection of God. Wanting a king is putting your faith in men and not in the Lord. So these are the Bible verses that I would like for everyone to look into and understand how putting your faith in men is a revolt against God.
There
or
you have
just
it.
Stupid. But
there you have it. Jacob, we appreciate the phone call. If you guys are interested in checking out those verses, then you can just rewind the video. We've got another caller on line 2. Thank you, Jacob, again. And
thanks, Jacob.
Yep.
Have a good night.
You too, man. Thank you.
Jacob got.
All right, we've got a caller on line 2. How you doing? Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
Who do we have on the line here?
I am William.
Oh, how you doing, William?
I'm all right.
Got a fun question for us, William?
Hold on. I gotta stop watching the stream because it's giving me feedback.
Oh yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. This is better.
I don't know, you're kind of loud, but it's fine.
We got somebody in the comments who says William Morris needs help. So,
yes.
Welcome to the show, William.
Am I? Hello.
Yep, you're here. You're live.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with any of this, to be quite honest.
Any what?
Like, just think about it long term. Who cares?
About what? What are you talking
Who
about?
really cares?
About what?
Yeah, just like all these societal issues, like who cares, right? Like the people complaining right now, those are going to be the people that die from starvation, if not war. So you can sit there and you can complain about your little semantics all you want. At the end of the day, people that grow your food, mow your lawn, make your soap, we don't care. So you can complain, you can raise your little tantrums and your flags and all that stuff. We don't care. At the end of the day, we don't care. Because what do you guys do? Destroy yourselves. No one cares. That's the scary bit for you. Realizing that nobody actually cares. At the end of the day, hardworking people that keep the infrastructure together, that don't complain and moan and whine about they're not getting their fifis rubbed, nobody cares. That's the truth.
Do you ever? I think he's speaking to you.
Yeah, I know he's speaking to me. Are you done? Is that all you wanted to say?
That's all I had to say.
Okay,
so
great.
We can sit here and argue your semantics now about the definition of words, and nobody cares. Because you know what? At the end of the day, irrelevant. What really matters is that gas is like almost $8 a gallon in some places or higher. And people can't feed their families.
No, that's only subjective.
I agree that people can't feed their families.
I
agree that that's important.
Well, that's subjective. Can you feed your family or not? I mean, they're just words. You could change what that definition means,
Sam,
right, buddy?
People can feed their families.
So that way we have no talking point. Nobody can talk anymore. Return to monkey. We just all go caveman mode.
I'm not an primitivist.
You're gonna be. You keep talking the way you're talking.
Oh my God.
You'll be one whether you like it or not.
Yeah, buddy. Are you okay? You seem really upset.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Why are you so upset, dog? You want to talk about it?
It's just
like why do the words that come out of my mouth make you so upset?
It's sad to see that there's so many people just like you that just talk out their rear end because they have no real life experience. They've done nothing with their life of any substance. And they sit there and they want to undermine everything around them because they hate themselves.
Don't you think that's what you're doing right now by calling in and not making a very good point at all, other than you're complaining and you're going to die soon?
I'm just telling you the reality of the situation.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I had my eyes shut for the first 25 years of my life. Thank you.
Yes, apparently.
No, apparently.
He's walked out of the studio, and now he's crying in his...
You've hurt my feelings!
Okay,
all right. I think I've successfully broken Josh.
It's apparent.
I did my work.
William, if you'd like to have a real conversation at some point, I'm down to have it.
No, I just wanted to rip on you.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Thank you, William, for the call-in. We appreciate it.
Love you.
Yep. All right.
I love you too, William. I don't appreciate the call.
Okay.
I love this show. I love my job that I'm not getting paid for. I don't care.
So, anyway, with all that to say is that I think that we're going to come to a close. Do you have anything to say about how...
What? Yeah. Republicans bad, government bad, big business bad. Like, that's my ideology.
Okay,
it's not
so
hard.
He has repeated everything that CNN says. In like a mere 5-10 seconds right there.
Yeah. That's all it is. Except CNN
it's
also.
It's weird because the more that I look at you and the more I hear you, the more you start to look like a gray figure with dots on their eyes.
Are you okay, Sam?
No, I'm not.
Well, at least you admit it. First step is...
Again, if anybody would like to call in, be sure to jump into the community. Go to samdailyshow.com. We also have a bunch of articles that our team has been writing. Basically, they're covering things quicker than I can even... Here's and you may not even know this, Anarcho Josh, but like I'm not even like being like, hey, I need to write this. No. They just go. They're like in this like...
Good. You know, if you're having a frog race, you don't want a frog that you have to poke. You want a frog that you have to hold back.
No, you want a frog you can eat. Have you ever eaten frog?
Yeah,
you ever been frog
a long
gigging?
time ago.
We got to go frog gigging sometime. Maybe you'll grow out of this this phase in your life of being a... Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I doubt it, but we're going to find out. I don't think frogging is going to do it, though.
Dang. You know what I forgot to do is push start recording. It's okay, though. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and all you
hurt you
lovely
physically.
Freaks out there, I very much appreciate you coming and watching. Be sure to comment, be sure to like and subscribe and do all of that stuff. It's really important that you do that, because if you don't do that, people don't see it. If people don't see it, then people will not be able to grow this channel to the degree that we can.
And
the purpose of this channel, shut up, I'm doing my outro and I'm rolling right now, is that actually go ahead, say your piece.
Oh, yeah, you have to, help with the algorithm to boost the channel so we can actually get paid to do this. And if you actually like it, then, like, consider giving us maybe a little bit of money so we can make the show better and have more, better technology so we can actually make stuff work right.
And we don't just want your money. We also want you to help out. If you join the community, is that if you write, you write. If you're an investigative journalist, you can do that. Like, this is all grown from the grass roots. I hate grassroots. Remind me to share the story about the first time I ever met a grassroots organization. Okay. Pot smoking, moronic hippies. Very good show. Enjoyed small talk through comments. Anarcho Josh, our chats. Cool. Somebody's even though he's across the aisle. Actually, you're not even in a seat in the...
No. I'm like, all of you are bad, and I'm screaming out, like, in the window. Like, you see me in the window, and I'm just, like, banging on the glass, frothing at the mouth.
Glippo, you can say something to Josh in the next episode, which we'll have next Thursday. We're also going to be doing a show on Monday. We're getting to the point. I'm telling you, we're getting to the point where we are going to be doing this show daily. On Monday, we've got Dutch coming in, and we're going to have a conversation about...
Are you saying that I'm coming in on Monday?
What? No.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I said Dutch.
Well, I know, but you're like... Sorry, it was just the way you sent or structured things.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay. So, do all of those things. I'm going to do the outro here where I basically fade out to black and make like a cool little beatbox trap sound like...